Okay, so the cannon blast does 30 damage. Now, Purity, your health is 50, so you're not dead. However, the blast is enough to actually blow out the top floor of the tower. So that actually blows you out of the wall. So you're in free fall right now.
Do I still have the bed sheet with me?
Actually, yeah, the bed sheet.
I can just use it to glide down.
Okay, so you're gonna have to roll dexterity to grab the bed sheet.
What's if you another natural one?
1d20?
You roll the dexterity check. So you grab the sheet in time, and you're able to use it as a parachute to guide yourself down to the ground. You take no additional damage.
I'm gonna look at Lumpy like, Lumpy, we must kill.
Lumpy will kill for Teddy and Spot.
So we're just gonna go. Well, I'm gonna look at. Rocka. Are you gonna come with us to kill her?
You might want to look out the window. You might want to look out the hole in the side of the building. By the way,
I'm going to fucking kill you all, except Lumpy. I grab the torch next to me and I light the fucker up.
So there is a torch down there, and the thing is a little bit of a failsafe since it's right next to the ammo dump. For basically all of the goblin oil that they use to burn their torches, and all the goblin oil they use to make their fire bombs. So that's all at the base of the tower. She then lights that on fire and books it the fuck out of there. The explosion itself, once it hits, it's going to take one full turn to hit. So you basically have 60 seconds to try and get out of this building, although you don't necessarily know what she's done. So you're going to have to all roll perception to see if you realize what she's done, including Lumpy.
Okay. I rolled a 15.
Lumpy does not notice. Rocka, you do notice. Cham, you do notice. Alright, so Vash, you are also able to tell what has happened too. So Lumpy apparently is the only one in the dark on this, on what's just happened.
Alright, I'm gonna look at Lumpy. I'm gonna yell him like, hey, Lumpy, grab me and Teddy. We're gonna jump out of the hole.
Alright, so you guys are gonna have to roll, so Lumpy's gonna roll strength to grab both of you guys. So that's a +3, so that's a 13. So he's easily able to grab Cham and tries to grab Teddy under his arm, and he basically manages to get you up too. He's gonna jump out the window with both of you guys and Vash on his back. So Lumpy takes a flying leap of faith, and he's gonna try and jump out right as the building begins to explode. So as the explosion happens, he is jumping out of the tower, John McClane style. So we're going to roll to see how big this explosion is, because there's 20 barrels of goblin oil down there, and they all just went up at the same time. So that's going to be 20 d10s of damage. That's 123 damage to this building. The entire building is obliterated from bottom to top. As the top collapses down, you see Lumpy jumping in what looks to almost be like slow motion. And then he eventually lands on the ground. So you guys actually take no damage because he takes a majority of the fall damage. So he's going to take 3d10 damage to the fall. So he took 22 damage, so his legs are pretty fucked up. Like, might have a hard time walking around. He can still stand because he's kind of stupid and his legs are like tree stumps. He's pretty injured, actually, from the fall. So he might not be moving around too well for a little while. And the Goblin Queen is simply standing there with her 2 daggers and an army of goblins with her arms crossed.
I'm gonna look at Lumpy. I'm gonna say, if you help kill all these people, I'll be able to fix your legs.
Me trust Spot friend, but Lumpy already firearm. Need new cannonball.
I'm gonna roll perception, see if I can find a cannonball.
Roll to 17. So you don't find a cannonball, but you do find there are a few unexploded barrels of goblin oil. And a barrel would probably fit pretty easily in there.
So I'm going to tell Lumpy the locations of these barrels that he can put in there instead.
Lumpy goes over and at the best of his ability and grabs a barrel. He's going to roll strength to insert it into his arm. Well, that's a 13. So he does manage to successfully insert it into the cannon hole.
So while he's doing that, I'm also going to use dancing lights.
All right, so you do that. So now Lumpy has the goblin oil inserted, and he looks over to you, wondering what he should do with it.
Shoot him at the goblins.
He says okay, and he immediately lights it. Now, that cannon, because it's channeling it, now normally if that barrel were to explode, it would have 1d10 damage in a certain radius around it, but because it's being aimed, it's going to act more like a flamethrower. So he's going to light that thing, which means he's going to aim at the goblin crowd. Purity, your character is going to be able to roll to dodge this. So he rolled a 3, so he's not really aiming a whole lot well, but he's still aiming. Well, you outrolled him, so you are able to dodge it. The other goblins aren't as smart. So he actually sprays that out. So he actually kills a bunch of goblins at the back. So he lights a lot of them on fire, and they start, like, running out into the village. And the problem is that now that they're running out into the village, they're going into other flammable structures and lighting tents on fire. So you're successfully burning the village down, but you still have a very large crowd of goblins in front of you. Probably around 60 to 70. And the Goblin Queen is still standing in front of you as Lumpy's barrel runs out. And she's now ready to start killing you. And you also have Vash, who's still attached to Lumpy, so Vash might be able to still use some magical powers.
Yep, Vash will be able to use anything for, like, bosses.
Yep. So that means all of you guys are going to have to roll initiative. So there's going to be the goblins, the Goblin Army, who's just going to kind of throw shit at you. The Goblin Queen is going to Purity, you'll roll your own thing, and then everybody else, except for Kane, who's still locked in his cage. Do you want to try and escape?
Sure, why not?
Okay, so before we start combat, Kane, do you want to... So are you going to try and pick the lock or find some way to get out?
Can I just, like, melt the lock because I have fire abilities?
As long as you have a burning attack that does a decent amount of damage, you can aim it at the lock to try and do that.
Produce flame.
Okay, then yeah, you can cast that on the lock and see if you can melt it. Because it's close proximity and everything, no, you don't have to roll the hit, but you will have to roll damage.
Okay, so 2d8.
6, that's enough to melt the lock. So you melt the lock and the door is now open to you. As this happens, Dickstab and his crew of goblins that are looking to overthrow the queen arrive at your cage. There's a big fight going down at the corner of the camp. We're gonna go there and stab some dicks. You in?
Hell yeah, dude!
Alright, he hands you a short sword and a shield and says, "Follow me to war, brothers!" And then he runs off with probably about a dozen goblins behind him. The initiative rolls that you guys did. So Cham, you rolled a 14 because that's a +3. Rocka, you rolled a 15.
Okay, well, he rolled a 14, so.
So,
yeah, me and him have to re-roll.
Oh yeah, because you got the plus. Well, I'm gonna say because his is a natural 14 and yours isn't, I'm gonna say he goes before
you.
You.
First? Okay.
Yeah. Oh, he rolled a 14. So the Goblin group is gonna go first. So the Goblin group is gonna swarm Lumpy because he's the biggest target. So they're going to attack, and they get... so they're going to roll 2 d20s. Neither of those will hit, so they both miss. So now it goes to Rocka, so you can decide what you want to do in your bear form. That would be a 12. So actually, no, he will hit one of the goblins that's near him with that, and then he also has his second attack, which is a 19, which both of those will hit. All right, so each one of those is 2d6 plus 4. So we'll do the first attack. Okay, so that's 10. So that first goblin is just wiped off the face of the earth. He's dead. And then the second goblin, he is also dead because they only have like 8 health. So he just wiped 2 of them off the map with each of his attacks. So that leaves a couple of them. So they kind of back away from him after that because he just brutally murdered a few of them. And now it is going to go down to Lumpy.
Yep.
And Lumpy is going to swing his... he's going to do like a kind of like a cleave move. With his hammer, he's just going to swing that thing right around, right into the crowd of goblins. So that's going to do 1d4, but he's doing it to the entire crowd. So he's probably just going to send a bunch of them flying into the air. Oh, that's definitely an 18 with the +3. So we're going to roll a hit.
Oh, come the fuck on, Lumpy. No more head pats for you, Lumpy, when you get back to normal.
All right, so that's not a lot of damage, but he does swing it through the crowd, so he kills a few of them, and he sends a bunch of the other ones flying off into the air, and they wind up actually landing in a lot of the now burning structures in the village. So there's now about 45 of them left, as opposed to the 60 that were there before. It now goes down to Vash. So Vash, you can now do what you want. The only thing is you're stuck on Lumpy's back, so you can't really do physical attacks. You can do magic, though.
Yeah, I'll do like a thunderclap.
Okay, so roll to hit. Also, what are you aiming at? Are you aiming at Purity or the crowd?
I'm gonna aim at the queen.
So Vash, you can roll to hit.
And I rolled a dodge?
Oh. Purity, you can roll against that, but he's probably going to hit.
I swear to God.
No, she doesn't get a 20, and even with a little bit of a modifier, that's still not going to change. So Vash, you're going to be able to hit her with that. You can roll for damage. All right, so that's a 3. So you give her, like, a mild shock. Like, it's kind of like one of those things, like when you hit your funny bone in your elbow. Like, she's kind of shaking her arm out a little bit, but she's all right.
Really? That is the best you've got.
I'm Cripple, shut the fuck up.
All right, Cham, so it's your turn now.
I'm going to tell Lumpy, grab another barrel.
Okay, that's going to be a minor thing, and he's not going to be able to do that until his turn.
Until his turn, yep.
There is one more barrel, so he has one more.
I'm guessing there's a goblin near me.
There are several near you. They're all around you.
I'm just going to attack the one that's nearest me.
All right, so roll for attack. Oh, you hit him. You hit him. You hit him a good amount. Okay, so roll 1d6.
Wait, how long does his control over Lumpy last, or is it forever?
It's forever because now the only way you can do it is if you out-persuade Cham into getting Lumpy back on your side because you no longer have the amulet to control him with.
Can I try a persuasion?
You do have persuasion, but you don't have nearly as much of a boost as Cham does. Because you had control over Lumpy for so long, you will get a +3 to your roll, but it's nothing compared to what his would be.
Well, I guess I can try.
You can try. On your turn, you can try. You rolled for damage on that first goblin. So you kind of poke him and he backs away. You stabbed him pretty good in the gut. He's bleeding kind of from the side. So Purity, it's now your turn. So yeah, you have 2 daggers, and each one of those daggers does 2d8 damage, and you get 2 attacks per turn.
I'm gonna try to persuade Lumpy.
Okay, you rolled a 17, that's a +3, so that's a 20. So Cham, you're gonna have to roll against that to keep control of Lumpy, because you're technically acting as his willpower.
Oh, that's 17, so she got that one.
So you gain control of backup for Lumpy for 1 turn, Purity, so his next turn he's gonna be fighting for you. So because that was successful, I'm going to count it as a minor action, so you still get 1 attack this turn.
Are there any other weapons or anything nearby? What's nearby me?
There's one more barrel of goblin oil that's sitting on the side that Cham was originally going to have Lumpy put into his arm cannon.
Is it nearby them?
Yes, it's close. It's close by Lumpy, so it's near Lumpy and Vash, and not as near Cham and Rocka.
I throw my dagger at the barrel to break it. And splash them all with the oil.
Okay, so you're going to have to roll dexterity to throw the dagger. So you'll get a dexterity bonus, because I'm pretty sure your dexterity is relatively high. Yep, your dexterity is 20, so you get a +4. So that's only a 7. So you throw the dagger, and it actually misses the barrel and embeds in a wooden pole behind the barrel. So you're down to 1 dagger, and that was your turn. Now it's the goblin posse. They're gonna try and go after Lumpy, because they get 2 attacks. Okay, so the first attack hits, the second attack doesn't. They're going to attack Lumpy. So that's going to be another 9. So they walk up and they stab Lumpy in the butt. They come up behind him and they stab him in the ass a couple of times, and that's how much damage they do to him. But Lumpy is still doing okay. He's a little below half health. He's not dead. He's still okay. So now, after the goblins have gone through, now it's going to go back to Rock. So as your turn is coming up, as the goblins finish, the second group of goblins is now coming in from the rear, that it also includes Kane and being led by Dickstab. And as this happens, Dickstab screams from the back, "For all goblin kind, we will depose you, evil mistress!"
Oh, for fuck's sake, of course it'd be Dickstab.
Stab him in the dicks! And as you say that, the new goblin force rushes in, so they're going to get an attack of opportunity. And Kane, if you choose to as well, you're going to go right after the rogue goblin, because you're also going to get an attack of opportunity.
No, I'm just here to witness.
Look, will you come and help me? I'll make you my king. You can have all the other female goblins.
Well, you know, simp hard, simp long, right? Alright, who am I killing?
Well, I mean, you're standing right next to Dickstab.
I'm gonna tap Dickstab on the shoulder, be like, "Hey, Dickstab."
Whack!
I'm gonna stab him in the dick and scream Dickstab.
Roll. It's a targeted attack. Oh
my god, he did.
Even with the -2, you hit. Roll for damage. It's 1d8, but it's going to be multiplied because it's a targeted attack, so it's going to do double damage. Oh, that's 10 damage right to his dick. You cannibal holocausted him, if you know what I'm talking about. You stabbed him from below in the dick and up through his mouth. You killed Dickstab by stabbing him through the dick. And now the other rogue goblin group has become horrified by what has just happened, and they immediately disperse. Okay, so Kane, your order of combat, the rogue goblin group now is no longer there. You've thoroughly destroyed that, so you're going to take their point in the combat order. So Rocka, it's now going to go to you.
I'm still in bear form?
Yes, you are still in bear form.
Alright, so we're going to go ahead and rage, and then I'm going to go ahead and... Who's closest to me?
The Goblin Queen would probably be the closest.
Oh, son of a bitch.
Goblin Queen gives you get a bear hug.
She has the ability to roll a reaction roll to dodge each of your attacks.
He's gonna have to get a little squirrely.
that's definitely going to miss. That one she's going to have to try and dodge.
Son of a fuck!
So Rock, the first attack misses, but you will hit on the second attack. Alright, so that's 13 damage, so she's not dead. She has like 7 health left. Now that Rock is through with his, it is Lumpy's turn. And Lumpy has just seen what Teddy has done to his beloved queen. And he is going to reload his arm cannon with that barrel of goblin oil, and he's going to aim it at Rocka. So it's going to be the same thing. It's going to be an AoE flame attack. So we're going to roll 1d20 to see if he actually has some amount of aim. He does. So you are actually going to be able to roll to try and dodge that because you're an indirect target. So Cham, you can roll a d20 to see if you can manage to get out of the range of that. 7 is still not high enough. He's still going to hit you. I'm going to roll for damage now because he does hit. All right, so he's going to do 19 damage across the way. So most of that is going... So Rocka, you're getting the whole 19, but since you're enraged, I don't think you get the resistance to fire. Okay, so that's only going to do 9 damage to you, because it's going to be cut in half. And Cham, since you didn't get away fast enough, you're still... Since you're an indirect target, you're still going to get half, so you're going to get another 9. That's going to be Lumpy's turn, though, because that's all his attack is. So now... But he's still on the queen's side, unless you try to convince him otherwise. So, so now it's Vash's turn. So Vash, you're still hanging on to Lumpy as he's now changed. He just kind of hasn't really noticed that you're there.
Do thunderclap.
Okay, so you're going to do another thunderclap. Are you aiming at Lumpy or are you aiming at somebody else?
Lumpy. Fuck him.
Okay, so you're going to do it right in his head, I would assume?
Yeah.
That's right next to you? All right, I'm not going to give you an aim penalty because you're literally hanging on to him. So roll to hit, but you're not going to have to roll very high. It would be an attack of opportunity, so he's also going to get that doubled. And you rolled a 19, so that's definitely going to hit. Yep, so that's going to be 14 damage right to Lumpy's head. So you actually blew out both of his eardrums. And he just kind of falls over on the ground and, like, doesn't have the equilibrium to even stand up. And you may have also given him an aneurysm.
Which means I can't persuade him, you fucking asshole.
Yeah, no, he's beyond that point now. His brain is scrambled like eggs.
Oh, he set Rocka on fire, so he deserved it. Fuck him.
My turn?
Yes, Cham, it is your turn.
I'm gonna convince the queen to kill herself.
You are a sick fuck. Okay.
22.
Purity, you gotta roll to resist that. Nope, that's 17.
I'm
So it doesn't. So it doesn't. So you take the dagger, but you still have to roll to hit with the dagger. So if the dagger doesn't do enough damage to you, then you won't die. So if it does, you don't have to roll to hit, so it's 2d8. Okay, so you stab yourself with it, but at the same time, you still kind of want to live, so you're going to roll a d20 to see if you can make a saving roll to stay alive. You do stay alive, however, you do stab yourself, so you're in a comatose state right now, which means your turn is going to be skipped in the combat order, and it's going to go back up to the goblin crowd, which is loyal to you. Now, there are healers in the crowd, and one of them does come out to you and use Healing Hand. Okay, so he's going to use a level 3 Healing Hand spell, or Heal Wound spell on her. Okay, so that's going to heal her up for 21. So she's back up to moderate health, and she's back up to her feet. However, that is going to be the turn for the goblin crowd. And again, there's fewer of them left now than there were before, and they're starting to get kind of concerned now because most of their friends are dead and all their possessions are on fire. So now it's going to go to Kane. So Kane, what are you going to do?
Are there any goblin mages in the fucking army?
There are a couple of goblin healers. One of them is up in Purity. There's another one near the back. The healers do have staffs. You can use it as a mage staff.
Then I'm gonna go up to one of them and be like, give it to me.
So he goes up to the... So you go up to the goblin with the staff, and he looks at you like, I ain't giving up my staff. You go fuck yourself.
Give it to me or I'll kill you.
As
I'm gonna intimidate him.
Okay, roll to intimidate.
Oh, shit.
Oh! Okay, I'm not even going to roll for the goblin. He just hands you the stick and runs away.
How close is, like, Cham and Rocka and Vash? How close?
Probably about 30 feet. They're on the other side of the goblin crowd, so it's a little bit of a ways.
Who's the strongest one right now? Who's got the most health?
That would be Rocka.
Alright, I'm gonna target Rocka.
Alright,
Fireball.
It is a mage staff that does that will shoot a fireball. So you're gonna use fireball on him. So you're gonna have to roll to hit. All right, so that's an 11. So you don't actually hit him, but you do fire the fireball kind of close to him, and it lights the ground on fire near him. So if they move to the right, they could be lit on fire, but they're not damaged by that. So now we move down to Rocka, who just got a fireball launched at him by Kane.
I'm gonna actually use my bonus action to drop out a wild shape.
So now you are no longer Teddy. Lumpy still no longer identifies you as Teddy, and he will probably try and eat you if he gets close enough to you.
Maybe. Anyway, and now with the fire that's around me, I'm gonna actually use my Produce Flame spell to push the fire off towards Kane.
So you're gonna take the fire and throw it back at him?
Yep.
Okay, roll. Okay,
Yep.
that's definitely gonna hit, and it's gonna light everything on fire in the general vicinity. Kane, you and everything around you takes 1d6, takes 6 fire damage. So you're currently lit on fire. You're gonna take 1d4 fire damage your next turn, and then a lot of the goblins around you are lit on fire. Most of them are killed. So it's really mostly just you and the queen and a bunch of semi-on fire goblins.
Yeah, he's on ground, equilibrium, all fucked up.
Yep, so he won't be doing anything, and if he does do something, he's going to take a lot of negatives.
My poor ogre. Look at this. He was a good boy. He made you a bet. He was gonna bet you and feed you and take care of you.
Oh, I'm dead.
Spot. Next in the combat ordinance would be
It would be Lumpy, but
okay, so I mean he's gonna try and stand up, so I'm gonna roll his equilibrium to see if he can stand up. He does not stand up. Lumpy tries to stand up and then falls flat on the ground again. So then it's gonna go to Vash now, who's still on his back.
I try like crawling towards the queen. Alright, fuck it. I'll just do a thunderclap then.
Okay, so that's going to be another 2d6 damage, but you're going to have to aim that at her. So roll a d20 for aim. And yep, Purity, you're going to have a chance to dodge. Okay, you dodged that thunderclap successfully, so you kind of just cartwheel out of the way, and the thunderclap actually throws flaming goblin corpses all over the place and lights the arena on fire as well, so that's now burning. Vash, you've used that, now it goes down to Cham.
well, I don't know if I actually want to kill Lumpy.
You can just leave, you know.
At this point, you probably could just leave, but it's up to Purity whether or not she wants to keep fighting you now that all of her men are dead.
No, he can see me, right?
Lumpy, yes.
Am I able to do body movements in order to persuade him?
You're going to have to roll for that, and I think that's going to have to... I think it's still a charisma roll, but you're going to have to try and use body language.
That's a 20.
All right. So that's a 20. So I'm going to roll for Lumpy, which, and again, unless he rolls a nat 20, it's not going to matter. He rolled a 19, which is pretty damn close, and since he doesn't have any intelligence modifiers, he's not going to win that battle. So you're able to convince... So what are you trying to convince him of exactly?
That he's to fight for us and help kill the queen.
Fucking ear jump out.
Spot!
I look at Lumpy, I give him a heart shape with my hands.
Oh, for fuck's sake, this is not my day.
He makes a half-heart
Brigade.
shape with his remaining hand.
I can't kill Lumpy, man. I can't.
Cham, you have convinced Lumpy to fight at your side once again, even though he really can't move right now. So now it's going to go back down to Purity.
Do I have any clear points of escape?
You can book it into the woods and try and run away. So you can probably try and sprint away, but the problem is that if they try to like throw something at you, they'll still be able to hit you in the back. It's just whether or not they actually land the hit.
Alright. I'm gonna try to escape into the woods, and I'll bring the simp with me.
Hey!
Alright, so you're going to yell at Kane. So Kane, are you going to go with her?
It's Schlong of Chong, but yeah.
So you're going to have to roll... Yeah, it would be Dex. With the dexterity, that's a 22, so you're able to run towards the woods and try to escape. Cham, if you want to try and hit her for an attack of opportunity, you can roll a d20, but you're going to have to beat a 22. Yep, you rolled an 18 again. All right, so you got away. The dagger that he tried to throw at you missed horribly, so you got away into the woods, and Kane, you also got away. So you two ran into the woods, so now combat is over. Lumpy is close to being dead. Vash, you're on the ground, away from Lumpy, and Rocka and Cham, you guys are just kind of there. Are you guys going to try and pursue?
We should probably rest for now.
No, rest is for pussies.
Your legs got
Fuck
turned into
mine off.
potato, like toothpaste. You don't have a say here.
I'm an invalid, so I should be treated special.
Okay, so while you guys are having your little argument, Kane and Purity, you guys are running through the woods.
I'm just gonna have fucking Vash be on guard and just have let me and fucking Rocka rest. Like do a short rest.
Bro, I'm crippled. I can't do that shit.
You can still yell.
You can't.
Okay, I know what we're gonna do. Okay, so Kane and I are going to take the Zeppelin that's on the highest peak to get the fuck out of here. Let them have the island, we're out.
Several minutes go by as you guys see what looks like the silhouette of a giant balloon fly over the island, and it looks like it's going towards the mainland. Lumpy has now regained his equilibrium somewhat, and he's sitting down now, and you guys are now just kind of talking to each other, and all of you are going to roll perception.
Oh, I got a +6 on perception. That's a 10.
Okay, so none of you notice the Zeppelin flying by in the sky, except actually, Cham, do you get a +10 to that?
I got a +6. I said I got a 10 from that.
Okay, you got a 10. All right, so you're the only one that actually notices that there's like a Zeppelin silhouette going across that's bathed in the moonlight. That's the only thing that you're actually able to see. The only other thing that I could mention to Cham is because of your perception roll, you also notice that there appears to be Lumpy's cannonball sitting next to the destroyed tower. It must have fallen down after the explosion.
I'm going to. How heavy is the cannonball?
Probably like 200 or 300 pounds.
Oh, well, I can roll it. It's a ball. Roll it to Lumpy and try to have him shoot it at the.
Strength roll.
Fuck.
Does anybody want to help him with that? Rocka, maybe?
Yeah, I'll help him. I'll give him a finger.
You get, okay, you flip him off from the ship even though he can't do that.
I'm just enjoying some goblin wine. Do you want some, Sim?
What am I supposed to be helping him with?
It's a fucking balloon. Shoot it.
If anything, Worm's gonna look at Tater and be like, Tater, now is not the time to play with your balls, man.
So persuasion, so 17. So Rocka, do you want to roll against that or do you want to just accept it? Combined, so you are able to roll it over. So Lumpy looks at you like, cannon?
And I point it at the balloon so he can see it.
Big balloon. Lumpy, shoot. Alright, so Lumpy loads up the cannonball into his cannon arm along with a little extra black powder there to make sure everything goes just right. And he's going to fire it. So he's going to roll 1d20. Oh, and it's an 8, but he also gets a plus to the dex, which is a +2. So that's going to be a 10. So he's going to fire that thing, and it actually manages to just graze the back of the Zeppelin, because the Zeppelin is actually very large.
Feel something.
It grazes the back of the Zeppelin, the back where the propeller is, and actually knocks the propeller off. And at the same time, when it does that, it also sparks the propeller.
Oh, fuck you!
The fire very quickly spreads, so Purity and Kane, you're going to have to decide whether you want to burn to death or jump.
Yeah. We have aim for the water?
All right, so are you going to try and aim it towards the water, or are you just going to jump?
Might as well.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun either way.
Okay,
Basically.
so I'm going to roll to see how fast the fire engulfs the ship, to see if you can make it to the water before then. Okay, so the fire is going to engulf the ship semi-fast, so you guys are going to be able to get to just the edge of the water by the time the fire actually gets to you, and you're still a decent ways up, so you can try and jump from there.
Let's do it.
Hope you
Okay.
can swim, darling.
All right, so you two leap out of the Zeppelin over the water, and I'm going to see if you land luckily. You do not. You're going to each take 2d10 damage. So you both take 11 damage directly to the leg. So now you both have broken legs, and that's how we're going to end this.
Yay!
Everybody's a fucking cripple.